Well, 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 well. Hello, 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 hello. How's everyone doing? It's been a while. Oh, it has been a while. I hope you guys are doing mighty fine. As always, just gonna check if my stream is running okay. That's the reason, by the way, that I have not been streaming. I was having some issues with the computer. Yeah, looks fine now. So I was having some issues with my previous computer, my laptop, and I think the issue was for some reason. So I made this setup here, which is very nice now. But my TV's in 1080p, in HD basically, and my computer has a native 2K. It's a laptop, or it was a laptop, and it has a native 2K screen. And because, sorry, I'm putting my shoes on meanwhile. And because of that, and because I was using my laptop downstairs as well, still for other things, so I was moving it around. I think something messed up in the HDMI department. Connection basically. So yeah, we fixed it by buying a new computer, but not a new one actually. I got a really good deal. I wish I could show it to you. Maybe I can later on. It's just a normal desktop computer. Managed to buy it from some guy for $250. Really good deal. Has a nice graphics card. It is basic. Well, actually, it's not bad. It's just 5 years old, but even 5 years ago they made decent gaming computers, so it's perfect for Zwift and streaming. But yeah, that's how I dealt with that. I just invested in a little desktop computer for streaming purposes and Zwift purposes, and now everything is mighty fine. Because I don't have to move my my laptop around anymore. I can just keep my laptop downstairs and at work if necessary, but I don't have to, because there's a lot of cabling going on here with the webcam, the speakers, the whole HDMI for TV and all of that, and I always had to plug it in, set it up, and then it started giving issues and stuff. Now it's just one firm setup. I just press the power button and we're good to go. I'll open my window. So yeah, very happy with that, and from now on I'll be streaming again. You probably thought that I gave up. Oh, that guy gave up after the 6-7 months of going strong. He finally crumbled. Nope, I did not. And actually, even better than that, I actually rode insanely well in the past few days or weeks since we've seen each other. I wish I could say you didn't see me because I was riding outside, but that was not the case. Because I didn't ride outside. I find the music a little bit too loud. Let me turn it down a little bit. So yeah, I did not ride outside just because my bike. There we go, better. Because my bike is still in the shop getting a big maintenance, so this guy is just basically doing the whole shebang. I don't know if I told you this already. I took it to a guy who does bikes, and he's gonna new cables, remove everything, the cranks, the this, the that, the pedals, everything, clean it up, lubricate it basically, and reinstall everything. Even a new steering lint, yeah, basically the whole shebang, which was pretty necessary on my bike after 10 years. And then afterwards, when I get that one back, I'm gonna ride outside a little bit, because we're gonna do this one. We're gonna put this one in. or we're gonna bring this one and we're gonna switch him out basically. And then he's gonna do the drivetrain of this one, because on Zwift it's pretty necessary. Oh, that's what I was looking for. On Zwift it's pretty necessary to have a nice drivetrain, and then everything will be fixed. Bike-wise, setup-wise, everything will be in perfect shape and order. So, yeah. Okay, so this is the Givens -3 that we're gonna do today. I wish I could do more, but I only have an hour. Cause good news, I will tell you about this after we start the ride in the warm-up. But amazing news, proof how the universe works is amazing for me at least. But so the Givens -3 is 2 sets of 3 times 2.5 minutes VO2 max repeats at 180%. Basically easy peasy lemon squeezy compared to what we did already. Crew 356 watts seems like a lot, but I think I can handle it. So my last ride, can I look at activities here before we start this? Can I? Don't think I can. No, I don't think I can. But my last activity was pretty good. It was with a B group. I can't remember the name. I think it was 3R or something. And it was 100 kilometers at an average of 41 kilometers an hour. So 250 watts average around that. So yeah, it was a really decent ride. Alright, here we go. Tempus fugit, as always, because we know that even though you're on ERG, height meters matter. You feel them definitely at 350 watts. So what is the good news? And why do I only have 1 hour? I am leaving for the Netherlands, a little trip in the afternoon. And that is because, let me tell you something. You guys know... One sec. There we go. So you guys know that I've been renovating for a long time. Now, during my renovation, a lot of things happened to me. A lot of things that you would say like, wow, what the hell? How? You know, like, I call it blessings of the universe. It's little things, sometimes bigger things. It's things that other people would call coincidences that I call blessings from the universe. So positive things. Now, I'll be honest with you, the last year, probably, if not longer, I've been just in the mode where I have to save up monthly to progress in my house a little bit. So the savings that I had to renovate are gone. So I don't have a big amount to spend anymore. So what I've been doing is selling some, like back in the days when I had some savings, I bought some Pokemon cards as an investment, because everyone knows that money on the bank melts like snow. You spend it on this, you spend it on that, and before you know it, you have none left. So what I decided to do is spend some of it on Pokemon cards, just because they hold their value, even go up a little bit, and then you can sell them when you need the money. So one sec, I forgot something. Braking doesn't work, so Of course, we gotta go on the canyon, right? Forgot about that. So yeah, where was I? So thought something looked off already. So yeah, I started selling my Pokemon cards and using the money that I got from them in my house. Now, even that money was used up pretty fast. I think I sold about 6,000 euros in Pokemon cards, which sounds like a lot, and it is basically. But what happened is I was about to run out of money again, actually. Or actually, I ran out of money again. So I was, the past few months, like I said, I was just saving a bit every month and using that money from my house, but like little bits compared to what I normally do. I'm talking about 300-400 euros I could save and invest, which is not a lot when it comes to house things. Is my ERG gonna go back on, please? Oh, there we go. Is it back on now? Yeah, I guess it is. Okay, I hope it is. Yeah. Now, I had if you don't know anything of Pokemon, that's fine. But basically, you have three big Pokemon. Charizard, Venusaur, Blastoise are pretty big Pokemon. They call them the big three. And I had those 1991. And as we all know, Charizard is, or as we don't all know, but most people know, Charizard is the most popular one. And this is how it all started, actually, the Pokemon collecting. I was on Facebook and I saw this card. Some dude saying, I'm selling this card, and it was the Charizard. Now I knew nothing of Pokemon cards and PSA slabs, because that's what they are basically. They're graded. These are not just Pokemon cards. These are cards that are graded. So they're sent to America. They're checked out by a professional firm, and they are given a grade, a score, based on their condition. And this guy was selling a base set, so 1999 Charizard, PSA 9, which means it's in pretty good condition. 10 is perfect, 9 is maybe a little white dot or speck or whatever, so not perfect, but still a great card. And he only asked 300, and I looked at the real value of the card, and the real value of the card was around 1400. Now, I knew nothing of Pokemon, so I contacted the guy immediately. One sec, we got a big surge here. So contacted the guy, managed to make the deal for 300. Lucky for me, it was real, because honestly, afterwards I started checking out how the whole Pokemon thing worked, and there's such a big fake market going on, like fake slabs, fake cards. So I actually was very lucky that the one that I bought without knowing anything of it was a real card, and I managed to sell that card eventually for 1400. So yeah, I made a nice profit on that card. But I'm the kind of guy that likes sets. I like things that belong together. So because I had the Charizard, I needed the Venusaur and the Blastoise. Like I said, those are the big three. So because I had one of them, something in my head was like, oh, I would love the big three displayed next to each other on my wall. And so I bought a Venusaur and a Blastoise. And those have been on my wall for, like, the three of them in a nice acrylic case have been on my wall for a year and a half. Now I start selling off my collection, start getting into a not neediness, that's the wrong word, but money's running out because I'm spending it on the house. And I'm like, yeah, okay, this is it. From now on, I'm just gonna have to save every month a little bit, work on the house, just like that. And it's gonna take me quite a while, but hey, be grateful for what we have been achieving yet. Be grateful for everything. And what happens is, I grab the display with the 3 cards, and I start looking at the cards, admiring them, knowing that I have to sell them soon because the Trainerroad was already reserved for sale. And then suddenly I looked at the Blastoise, and I noticed at the Blastoise that there was a little word missing. So every other card had in the left bottom Illustrator, with the name of the illustrator that drew the card back in '99 next to it. But this Blastoise didn't have the okay, one sec. Okay, sorry about that. I don't know if I should be doing the surge and talk at the same time, you know. So where was I? I noticed that a little word was missing. And I was like, oh no, this card is fake. No, because I bought it from America, from an official site. I was like, how is that possible? So I started investigating. Turns out, long story short, this is a super rare misprint of the card. The word illustrator is missing, or illus. There's only one known card in the world with the same error and the same grade, because I had 9s, remember? All my cards were 9s. So I looked at the price, because the other one was actually on eBay, and he was offering it for 90,000. So I was like, no way. Even if I get a fraction of that, I'll be happy. So I remember starting to put this card on. Like, even for 4,000, 5,000, you know, I was like, if I can get like, I paid 400 or something. So I was like, if I can get a fraction of this, that would be amazing, you know, to go on in my house. But every time someone contacted me, it was like, yeah, I can offer you like 2,000, 3,000, because it's still in the original slab. So what they meant by that is, I haven't sent it to PSA to be recognized as the error card. So what I did after a lot of those kind of offers, like, yeah, we're gonna offer you 2K or 3K, not even 3K sometimes, because it's still in just a normal slab by PSA. I was like, you know what? I'll gamble and I'll send it out to PSA. So I pay 50 euros, send it out to PSA, and PSA, so last week or 2 weeks ago, suddenly I got a mail, your card has arrived. So I was like, please God, please, because I wasn't sure if PSA was gonna, I had a note with it that said, this is an illustrator error, can you please reslab it with the correct label? But I wasn't sure they read the note, I wasn't sure if they did it. So I went to the guy, I was like, oh, did they reslab it with the right label? And he was like, smiling at me, he gave me the card. And I saw Blastoise PSA 9, no illustrator error. I was like, oh, thank God. Thank God it got the actual label now. People can't say anymore, yeah, it's just a normal card. So, here I went again. I just put some pictures out there of being very proud of this card. Because at this point, there's only 2 in the world, right? Of this card. So I was like, oh, dude, this is crazy nice. I have a card in my hands that only has 2 in the world of. I need to focus here for 1 second, boys. 1 second. So, I'm back. Yeah, that's a bit too hard to talk and push that at the same time. So, back to my story. I posted it online in a few groups. And suddenly I got contacted by one guy. He's like, yeah, I was asking. I didn't know what to ask. Because there's only 2 in the world, you know. So suddenly I got an offer. Some guy was like, yeah, you want to sell this car? I'll offer you 8.5K. I was like, wow, 8,500. It's a lot of money. But then when push came to shove, the guy didn't really answer anymore, or contact was really struggling. And then, so, I don't know why I'm talking Scottish suddenly, sorry. Contact was really struggling, you know. And then I went to the pub for a pint of beer. Sorry about that. I don't know why I'm talking Scottish. So, what happened is suddenly there was a guy like Yorick. I'm one of the biggest collectors in Europe. And I'm interested in your card. Can we call? So I was like, yeah. We can call. So called each other, and he started showing off some cars. Like, I got this, I got that. I was like, wow, man, that's a huge. He has a huge collection. Not gonna lie, he does have a huge collection, hundreds and thousands worth. I was like, yeah. He said, do you have an offer? I said, yeah, I have an offer of 8.5K. He said, I'll offer you 10K right now. I was like, wow. Well, I didn't say that, but I myself was like, wow, 10K, 10,000 euros for a card? This is like, God bless the universe, man. Crazy. But then I said, I'll think about it. And I started calculating about, this is what I do. Why does this come in my life? My grandmother died. Her house is about to be sold. That's one expense it could come in my life for, to get an amount so big that I can buy my grandmother's house. The other reason could be just to finish this house, which I would need 20K for. If I had 20K, I would be able to finish the house completely. So what is it here for? So I was bold and I was like, sorry man. After a few days, I messaged him, sorry man, I would like 40K. He was like, sorry man, I cannot do that at all. 40K is an insane amount of money for one card. I cannot do that at all. If you can get that, I wish it best for you, but I can't do that. I was like, fuck, okay. Now, started calculating. Started talking to a lot of people. I even talked to the guy that posted his one online on eBay for 90,000 for quite a while. And I asked him, how much offers did you get? He said, I got a few offers, but nothing above 5K. I was like, wow. I'm getting like, in dollars, I would get like $12K, which is more than double that he has been getting. And his card is on eBay for like over a year now. I think he posted it in 2023. So 2 years almost. I was like, this 10K offer seems to be like a decent offer, honestly. I started doing some more research, investigating, and then suddenly I saw a post that a PSA 8, so one grade lower than mine, was sold in February on a golden auction for 1,200. So I'm getting basically 10 times the amount of a PSA 8, which is only one grade lower, which could be a speck on the card or whatever. A little corner being bent a little bit. Okay, 1 sec, here comes a search. Alrighty, back to my story. So, the more I thought about it, the more I was like, yeah, you know what? And then I started looking at other error cards, Blastoise error cards, like even a Trainer Deck B, which is only 17 in the world as well. It's selling for like not even 4K. So the more I thought about it, I was like, this is decent offer. You know what? I'll counter offer him 12.5. And that's what I did. And he's like, so last Friday, we were on the phone. I was like, man, the least I can go is 12.5. That's what I need for like my bottom floor, just floor heating, floor, kitchen. Then I still have to do the walls and stuff, but with 12.5 I can do something. The most necessary things. And he was like, let me think about it. You think about my offer. We'll talk to each other after the weekend. And then this weekend I was in my car thinking, kind of a relaxed meditative state, as you sometimes have when you're driving alone with some music on, looking outside, sunshine on your face. And I was like, you know what, man, look how far you've come. Look how the universe has blessed you already. Don't become needy now. You never became needy. You never became greedy. And the universe blessed you for it and gave to you what you needed on the moment. Don't try to get the bottom of the well emptied for this card. Be grateful. That's what I was thinking literally, and I was like, you know what? Fuck the 12.5 and I'll just accept the 10. I'll be grateful with what I get for it, which is looking at, talking to people, talking to experts, listening to groups, forums, just seeing that 8 being sold for 1,200, all those components together, and honestly, him being a decent collector, decent guy, and in my eyes deserves the card in his collection. He has a dream to have every PSA 9 and 10 card someday, be the first in the world. That's his dream. What better place to send a card to than a person like that, if you can make him happy as well with it. It means a lot to him. So yeah, even though I could be hard and it doesn't work that way, gotta be grateful for the things you have. So I contacted the guy and said, look man, I decided I'm gonna do it. So Sunday, which is yesterday or the day before, we agreed upon the 10k, nothing more, because he even said, look, if you give me the 10k for 10k now, when I sell my business, if I ever sell my collection, I'll think about you. I was like, man, can we put that in paper? He's like, yeah, we can put it in. But I didn't even put that in paper. If that's something he wants to do, that's good for him. But I'm not expecting people, like, I was scared that would complicate the sale again and make him, because he was honestly struggling. Even when I said, like, I'm agreeing on the 10k, he was like, oof, I don't know if I should do this. It's like most money I ever paid for one card. But yeah, we agreed on that. He already paid me in advance. We have a sales agreement, so the deal is done. And that's why I only have 1 hour, because this afternoon I got to drive to him to sell the card actually to him. So that's the story, and I'll stick by it. No, I mean, yeah, that's the story. That's the reason. There we go. So yeah, that's my story. Just to say that put your trust in the universe and it will give you whatever you need, provide you whatever you need. Now listen to my words. Whatever you need, not whatever you want, whatever you need. But put your trust in the universe. This is now a story that I'm sharing with you and that you can witness as it's happening in the present moment. But know that things like this, signs like this, that the universe is providing, have happened to me thousands of times in my years. Definitely in the past years while building my house, while suffering. It's while suffering that the universe will provide the most to keep your head above water. But you gotta believe in it. You gotta let go. Just let go and put your trust in it. And I promise you, there's a reason for everything. Everything happens with a reason. We just don't see it straight away. But it knows. Whether you call it God, Allah, Yahweh, the universe, whatever you want to call it, it knows all. And we don't. We only know this much. And this was also the thought that went through my head this weekend. We can worry so much about things happening in our lives, personal things. But in the great aspect of it all, in the great whole of it all, it is so irrelevant. Physically, we are just a tiny speck. We are nothing but a proof of dust in a room. Our physical being here for those 70, 80 years, if you're lucky, is so meaningless, is so short. And then when it comes to impact on the world, legacy, all of that, it is all so nothingness, so insignificant. Even if you manage to put somewhat of a stamp on this here planet, in the big aspect of the universe, even this planet is just a grain of sand on a beach bigger than you ever can dream of. So everything is so insignificant. So this deal, whether it be 10k, 12.5k, 20k, it is so insignificant. So just be grateful for your health, for the things that have been granted to you already, for how everything is going, where you've come from, where you're going to. Every day lived is a present, is a gift. Every breath you take is a breath longer than some people, than most people who already passed on. Every healthy moment is a moment more that you can enjoy life without worries if you want to, compared to people that are suffering from illness, mentally or physically. So all of this in mind, be grateful. Just be grateful for what you have, and accept these moments. Trust in the universe. It will provide. Trust me, it will provide. See the story that I just told as one story, but know that I have been through moments like this 1,000 of times where I said this is impossible. Wow, is this happening? And it is happening. But you gotta let go, gotta believe. You cannot go for greed, you cannot want things. You just gotta. The most absurd, unlogical law in the universe. The more you want things, the more you resist them and push them away. The more you don't want things and you let things come to you naturally, it will come naturally. Trust me. I'm the living proof of that. And I'm glad that through this way even I can share that with you. You probably have heard it plenty of times. You probably heard it plenty of times on podcasts and TikTok and Instagram. Well, let me verify for you that those people, if you actually live by it, if you let go and you live by it, trust me, trust yourself and trust the universe that everything needed will come on your path. Even if it sounds bad, looks bad at the moment, know that it will be a blessing later on, or it will be a lesson learned for blessings later on. Whatever its purpose, it is there for a reason. It, whatever you call it, does not make mistakes. And that's the end of that story for you. You guys have seen my progression. It's this kind of belief that keeps pushing me. This insignificance, this gratitude is what makes me go like a rocket, basically. You guys see the numbers that I push now compared to when I started. I started in September at 180 watts. We are May. We're at 320 watts almost. I mean, you could say, you could find a thousand reasons why, but let me tell you, just let go, let it happen. You don't want to want anything. Don't want it. Just give the best you can. Go for reaching your full potential, which is the whole reason I have this YouTube channel, to share with you how it works. Do your best. Don't want to be the best. We don't want to beat other people. We don't want to do anything. Just be your best. You reach the full potential that it has in store for you. Help it help you. Look at me being all profity. I'm like a prophet on a bike. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy. Of course, I'm happy. I feel happy. See, even though I don't have the amount that I wanted, I'm happy. I mean, what a blessing. 10K. I'll be able to start again and finish some things. And every time when I get close to zero, when I'm like, now I gotta just sit down and hang on for a bit, it is what it is. A blessing comes on my path. And it's just amazing how it all works if you let it. You gotta let it. I hope this helps. If this helps one person realize, that's like all I can wish for with this channel, with all of this, why I'm streaming and doing this. So here we go again, suffer time. There you go. That was the Trainerroad. Training done. Feeling pretty good still. Of course, the 350 watts is intense for me. I don't think I could do 5 minutes intervals yet, because honestly, maybe 3 minutes I would maybe manage, but 2.5, like the last 30 seconds, are already pretty hurting for me. 250 is pretty intense to actually maintain cadence. But yeah, I think that is my first time threshold. I think it's called a threshold training. I think that is my first time I'm actually training at those watts for that amount of time. And from now on, we're gonna probably, not sure, we're gonna move up to longer times, just like I did with sweet spot training. Started at 5 minutes, 280 watts. Then it became 10 minutes, then it became 50 minutes. So I don't think you saw all those trainings. That's what I've been doing in the past 2 weeks. That's what you've been missing. That's sweet spot trainings, basically. 2 weeks of sweet spot training combined with a bit of endurance. And I don't do the Trainerroad endurance rides, I just do a group ride. Because that's basically the same. I just watch my heart rate and I stay in zone 2, where I try to, because you all know I'm pretty competitive, and I've been riding pretty hard, actually, harder than I should have been riding, but most of the time is in zone 2. So that's what the intention of the plan is. And then in between I do the Trainerroad workouts, which are mostly sweet spot. This was now a threshold, but most of them were just sweet spots, just like 10-15 minutes at 300 watts it is now, I think, or 285, something like that. And then 30 seconds off. Last time it was like 10-30 seconds, 10-30 seconds. It was really short amount of rest time in between, or 5-30 seconds, I don't know. But that's basically sweet spot training. Very intense for me, actually, because you're in that zone. You're in the 85-90% range for quite some time, 45-50 minutes, which is quite some time in that range. But hey, I feel that it's making me grow. I also feel on the group ride, for example, I think it's pretty sad that you cannot show activities on Zwift. You can only see it on the companion app. I don't know. Oh, yeah. I wish I could show you my activities, but basically I can tell you, like the last one, if I go here, to activities. See, my last one was just me. That was 100.6 kilometers ride, for example, and this was with group ride 3R endurance, where I finished fourth. And I wish I would have streamed it, because it was like a race at the end. We stick together pretty well. The petite com was in it, which is 3 kilometers climbing, pretty intense. But hey, 100.6 kilometers in 2 hours and 26 minutes. So if I then go to my Strava and I look at that, I can actually give you the exact numbers of that particular one. That was a B ride, by the way. I'm a B rider now. We're coming from D, also a long way. A lot of PRs on this ride. So 100.6 kilometers with an altitude of 660 meters. 2 hours 26 minutes of movement time. Average 240 watts. Average speed 41.3 kilometers an hour. And 2002 calories burned. So that is quite a ride. That is quite a ride. That is almost 100 kilometers straight at my former FTP in January, which was 255. So going really well. And what I was gonna say is that I notice when others start to fade, which is like at kilometers 80, 75, 80 to 100, people start fading, and that's why my engine actually shines, if I can say it like that. I can see myself, I can feel that my legs actually get better. Well, of course they're not fresher, but they feel like, I don't know how to call it exactly, but they feel better. Yeah, they it's like the pain numbs out, something like that. Is it endorphins? I don't know what it is, but suffering feels different at that time for me. So I guess I have a great durability. I guess I have a great endurance. I guess. So that's a bit of my strength. So now we're just going to be training on the FTP. And the other things are, I can also notice on my heart rate doesn't go up that much anymore, like at kilometer 100. So yeah. Great stuff. We're getting stronger and summer is coming. I called my mechanic this morning. My outside bike should be done tomorrow. So maybe day after tomorrow I'll go get it. And then I guess we're ready to ride outside a little bit as well. Also inside, of course, but outside, of course, as well. We'll see what the weather gives. It's only still May, but the weather has been amazing here in Belgium. Great sunshine, great days. Yeah, really, really awesome days to ride in. Still a bit of wind, a lot of wind actually. I'm at the coast, so we always have wind. There's always that wind knocking you in the face, but hey, only makes it stronger. So that was today's stream, today's workout, today's hello, how are you doing? Been a while, so maybe that's why I talked so much. Update you on the situation. Everything's going well, as you can tell. At work as well, small update at work. Of course, there's always, I became chef, I think I already told you that. There's always some adjustments to be made when you're a chef, personally, and how to react to situations and people and to deal with people. And yeah, you got to be a little more cautious, because now people see you as an actual chef, as an actual boss, which is a shame, but that's how it is. I mean, I wish I could still be just a colleague for them, and they would just act as I was a colleague and treat me as a colleague, but unfortunately it doesn't work like that. And I notice that more and more, that sometimes I have to act like a chef. And by acting like a chef, I don't mean telling them what to do, not at all, but sometimes you cannot be as open anymore to certain people, or as trusting or as good, I guess. Well, not good, but yeah, got to be a little bit harder. Normally I'm a very compassionate person, and in this position that I'm in right now, sometimes I have to be a little bit less compassionate and more professional. So these are things I'm learning as well in private life, comes with it, and I'm dealing with that a little bit, but it's a good experience. Most important thing is the work is good, people are doing a good job, I hope. That's what my manager says, so the manager is content. I am doing a good job, I think that's what they're telling me, so good stuff, I guess. Everything's going well. So that being said, I hope you guys are having an amazing, wonderful rest of your day. Yeah, you guys take care, and we'll see each other soon. Ish, depending. But I think we'll actually see each other tomorrow already. I think I have a workout plan tomorrow. So, my boys and my girls, love you very much, and as always, take care. Love you. Bye.